We now join the team battle, second match already in progress. Scrappy is taking on Mofo. Mofo is the only member of DS who does not have a Skype, so it's really difficult to get him into team battles. But he happened to be at the right place at the right time in one of the most disorganized team battles ever, so I just said, you know what? We will put you in. We will give you the match. He probably has no idea that we record team battles or that we're recording this one. But he is using Kagero. He is using the X. It is going up against Oracle Think Tank. This is a good matchup for the X because they can eliminate everything that Oracle Think Tank put on the field, which is a good way to kill the hand. And I have crackers because I'm hungry. Now understand, when I say this is a good matchup for Kagero, I'm not saying it favors Kagero. It's just more fair than other matchups. Because usually there aren't a lot of decks that can deal with the hand size that OTT can get. Kagero is one of the few that can. No triggers and a triple check. And Mofo heals. That heal actually gave him Legion. He chooses to stride instead. I don't know. If it was me, I probably would have Legion, got the end, and tried to just do that. Attack the rear to get the restand. Forget everything I just said. You just got a critical, then a heal, then a draw. Scrappy heals. That's not enough. Adds the 5k. There we go. The damage deficit is actually really big at this point. 4-2. It doesn't seem big, but considering it means one critical can end it, versus everything Scrappy would have to do in order to even the playing field. Not to mention it's also full field versus no field. Uses Eliminate and gets 2 draws. And Mofo's guarding this one. 3 to pass. First one is Susanoo. And Pudding. Tom. No triggers once again. Takes the second one and it's a draw trigger. And now Mofo Legion's 4 triggers. $27 to the Vanguard with the X and Legion. Drive checks the X and Burnout. Did he do 3 drive checks? Okay, his mouse messed up. So he put back with the VX. He drove check 2, so it didn't change the fact that he was able to do that. Scrappy takes one attack, it's a perfect guard. I can imagine he wishes he had that in hand. Because he's actually not drive checking a lot of triggers. At this point, they could very well be going to the bottom of the deck. Calls Kuroi Kazuchi. And calls it Pudding. Pudding hits the rear. Takumi Kazuchi's attack is perfect guarded. Gets a Nikkei. And 2 Kuroi Kazuchis. First trigger I've seen since I've been paying attention. Counterblast wants to draw. And Mofo guards the rear. Strat activate and the column dies. Also, Burnout appears. Did he pay the cost for that retire? Okay. He called the wrong unit. Moving a little too fast there. Two criticals and a draw. If this hits, it's gonna end it. And that's the last perfect guard, actually. So if Mofo can make it past this turn, he can probably overwhelm Scrappy, just by the fact that Scrappy can't possibly have a perfect guard now. Rides Battle Sister Jelly. In order to use Legion, returning 2 criticals, 3 criticals. Can I get 4 criticals? Yes, he's returning 4 criticals. So he seeks his Pudding. And calls Tom's rear guards. Mofo no passes the Vanguard with all grade 0s. First check is a Lozenge Magus. And the second was another Lozenge Magus. Which means Mofo actually doesn't have to guard this. Rad's Gigantic Overlord the Great. Returns 2 crits, a heal, and a draw. To perform Legion. Uses Burnout. He's probably going to retire one of the Toms, and he's going to attack the other one. One Tom dies and the other is the attack target. Mofo heal triggers. And critical triggers. Could have given the critical to the Vanguard and decides not to. Counterblast 1 and discard 2 to restand. 25k to the Vanguard. It only has one critical. Crit to Vanguard. And the end. If he had given the first critical to Vanguard and Scrappy no guarded, it could have ended right then and there. But that's not what happened. Scrappy has guard for this, because he drove check 2 heal triggers. And Mofo retires one of the 8k vanillas just in case more Toms are in hand. Speaking of more Toms in hand, there's one right there. And with the Vanguard skill, he's going to counterblast 3, draw 2, and discard 1. I hope they realize he has to. Okay. Calls pudding and uses it to attack the arrow. The Twilight Arrow. Which is a good idea considering it's getting retires for a counterblast 1. Very low cost, all things considered. Mofo no passes the Vanguard again. Critical trigger goes to Tom. He has to guard it. He has the guard for it. He gets the unflip as well. Calls the end to rear. Because he doesn't have the X or the end as Vanguard anyway. $25 to the Vanguard, that's 31. That's a 2 pass. Critical. And heal. It's too bad he didn't all Vanguard that attack, but this is going to be 26k. And he had the guard. So at this point, Scrappy really doesn't have much of anything. He has 4 cards left in his entire deck. His opponent just checked a perfect guard. Critical trigger. And jelly. Mofo guards, and this is pretty much the end here. He has no ability to guard, and even if he does guard, he only has 2 cards left in deck. It's not even worth attacking the rear guard first anymore, but he does it anyway. Gets a critical in the twin drive. Gives it all to Twilight Arrow and goes for the Vanguard. Scrappy cannot guard. Draw trigger and heal trigger. And the final card was Scrappy's last heal trigger. Good game all around. DS wins the team battle. See you guys next time.